Hello. Happy Manifestation Monday. The secret to living a fulfilled life. What is that? And it's the same for everybody. Like, it's literally one secret for everybody. And it's not what you think, right? Because it's Manifestation Monday today. So you would think, sorry, give me a second. I need my mint water today. You would think, oh, it's manifesting. Like, learning how to manifest is a secret to fulfill a life, right? Because you can just have anything you want. No. And why is that? See, I grew up around so many people that seemingly had it all. I was that person that seemingly had it all and feeling so miserable on the inside. And here's the thing with that. A lot of people will teach you and will sell this, how do you manifest your reality? Or how to basically chase or get that thing that you're chasing after without addressing the root cause as to why you are chasing it. Because there's a root cause. Now, don't worry, I'm not going too deep today, but I do want to share with you the secret to living a fulfilled life. What makes the difference between a person who has it all and is completely numb to life and a person who has it all but can actually feel it? Or maybe that person doesn't have anything at all and they can still feel fulfilled somehow. How do they do it? How does that work? The secret to living a fulfilled life. What does freedom feel like? Because that's what a lot of people want, right? It's like, I want freedom. I want peace. And usually those of the masculine or more, don't worry about it if you don't know what it is, not masculine as in man, but masculine energy who are led by the masculine energy, they want freedom. They want expansion. Those that are led by the feminine energy want connection. Not realizing that they're actually the same thing. And does that not make sense? Because connection, freedom, aren't they like the opposite? They're not. Because true freedom is found in connection. It is only when you are truly free that you are able to connect with others. And it is in that deep connection with yourself. And that is when you feel truly free. Connection with others, right? Think of a relationship that, is like many years of really conscious connection, consciously building that intimacy. That creates freedom. So how do we get that freedom in all aspects of our lives? And I actually just said it. The secret to living a fulfilled life is intimacy. Now, I don't mean intimacy with another person. I mean intimacy with everything, including other people, but everything. Your life is all about relationships. Your relationship with your home, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with an object like your favorite mug. This is my favorite mug. Your relationship with your food, your relationship with other people. That fulfillment in your life, you can manifest anything you want. But like I said, so many people manifest the hell out of their life and they're still lacking. They still feel like something's missing because they're not building intimacy. A friend of mine was recently doing accounting for his business, and it's a dreadful amount of work, right? And it's just the work, right? It's writing what came in, what came out, and it's like, gosh, I don't want to do this, and I procrastinated with this for the longest time, and now it has to be done. And what I told this person is, I asked, well, why don't you use this opportunity? And he said, what do you mean? What if you use this opportunity of something that you have to do, it just has to be done, to build intimacy with your business? For when you're doing this accounting, every amount of money that's coming in, you get to be grateful for it. You get to be aware of how it's nourishing your business. All the money that you're writing out that was spent, it was there to benefit your business in some way. So you're creating intimacy with your finances. And this, by the way, you can do this with your own budgeting. You're creating intimacy with your finances. You're creating intimacy with money because you have like a money date. Are you doing that in your everyday life? Because that is fulfillment. Are you there, let's say, consuming food on the go, go, go? Oh, right. Okay, this is good for me. I have to eat this. Or are you actually creating a relationship? Are you building that intimacy when you're preparing your food? Understanding that you're preparing something that's about to nourish your body. Sacredness. Are you willing to bring sacredness into your everyday life, into everything you do? Are you willing to be mindful? Understanding what a true gift it is. Everything you have. When you are drinking, for example, I'm just using my mug as an example. I really love my mug. And just not seeing it as oh, right, it's my mug. I've seen it so many times. But really witness it. Really hold it. What does the texture feel like? What are those colors like? Like the rim is different. The color, the way it's done, it's like in spots, right? I'm drinking mint water, just water with a lot of fresh mint. When you're drinking it, really feeling, and a lot of you will go like, that's great. I don't have time to do this. Okay. Do you ever do this? Because we go into, okay, well, I don't have time to live like that, right? Do you set time at all in your week to do that? And then the answer is usually like, well, no. Okay, well, it's like meditation. There's a saying, it's like if, meditate for 15 minutes, and if you don't have 15 minutes, then meditate for an hour. Are you consciously choosing to be fulfilled? Are you consciously choosing to build intimacy? And I cannot express to you, today we're having a beautiful new moon, and I'm about to do a new moon ritual, which is me building intimacy with my space every single month. There are several shamanic rituals that I do to connect with my space. And my space, and this isn't, to get something out of it, but just as a side effect, as a cherry on top, my space, whenever I have guests or people coming in, my space reacts to people in a particular way. And I know when this person's out of alignment. I know when they are welcome in my home because I can feel it, because I've built a relationship with the energy of my home, with the spirit of my home. And we do that with everything in our lives. Dr. Hugh Len, or just generally in shamanic tradition, but I want to talk about Dr. Hugh Len, who is a teacher of Ho'oponopono. And it's an ancient Hawaiian recapitulation practice for those of you who don't know. And it just consists of 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And it sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Actually, one of the kind of not catalyst, but that's how I got to my awakening, was I was just sobbing and couldn't get through I'm sorry. Because what I'm sorry really means is taking responsibility for your own life, saying to those vulnerable parts of you, I'm sorry that you're going through that. And yeah, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. I might do a separate video on the topic of Ho'oponopono because it's a transformational practice. So he spoke in several of his interviews about how he does the Ho'oponopono on the camera. He does the Ho'oponopono on the chair because it has memories. It has energy from the person who sat there before. He does the Ho'oponopono on the room. He does it on everything. And that is just the shamanic tradition all over the world, understanding that every single thing, all objects have an energy. They are living just like you are. Just because they can't speak does not mean that, well, they can't speak words. Doesn't mean that they don't speak. Because if you can read energy, then you can read the objects. They have a story to tell. and building intimacy with everything in your life, building intimacy with every activity in your life. And why am I talking about this in regards to manifestation? Well, first of all, because we're trying to manifest, sometimes going in the wrong way. It's like, oh, I'm hoping that my life will feel fulfilled once I manifest that thing. No, it won't. No, it won't. If you're not fulfilled right now, if you're not choosing to build that intimacy right now. That is the first point of why I'm saying this. But the second one is because to skyrocket your manifestations, you actually have to build intimacy with your vision. Not in a, right, okay, I'm going to make a vision board so that I can just get it and feel fulfilled and good and just like, okay, give me the stuff that I want. But actually treating that vision as a separate person, getting curious about it, wanting to be in love with it. What does it feel like when I'm in this vision? What do I feel? What do I hear? What do I smell? Like building relationship with that experience of that which you want, which has not happened yet. Just as you would with another person, getting curious about it, being open to it, being receptive. And that is what it takes to skyrocket your manifestations. Are you willing to create intimacy? That's what it takes to live a fulfilled life. That is what it takes to skyrocket your manifestations. And one last thing I want to leave you with here, which I get so often, and it just came up in the Powerful Self membership. Someone spoke about this. There's this idea that just doesn't make sense. It's crazy. It's crazy. That if we follow breadcrumbs of lack, if we follow breadcrumbs of restriction and discipline, and don't get me wrong, discipline is so important. I'm a big fan of discipline. I feel like I need more space today. But there's this idea that if we are miserable, restricting, lack, fear, then somehow following those breadcrumbs, we're going to get to a huge ass cake of happiness and abundance and joy. And why would that happen? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. This idea of, right, I got to struggle and I got to hustle so that I can live my best life. You're not going to live your best life out there if it's coming from struggle here. Now, careful with this one, because I don't mean don't be disciplined. I don't mean, for example, if you have like a target, I'm about to do my workout after the ritual. So let's use the workout example. You want a particular body type, and it's not, going into, well, okay, workouts are hard, or, it's like, I'm not going to do that because that's not going to bring me to that fulfillment. It's like, no, you're going to, you're going to push through, you're going to do those workouts, you're going to show up every day or however many days you plan to do that thing that you want to do, your workout schedule, your workout routine, and then you're going to feel amazing when you're in that body. However, what a lot of people do is they're just struggling throughout the whole process. Like, right, okay, this is what it takes to have this kind of body, or I can't eat those things and I have to restrict myself in order to have that kind of body. What if it can be the same action, but with a completely different intention? Not from, I got to struggle, but, oh my God, I get to do this difficult thing because I'm committed to that greater vision of fulfillment, of abundance. So what you're doing in the process, even though it may be the exact same action, right? It's like, you got to show up to those workouts. You got to, let's say, do those planks. I'm just saying all the things that are coming up to my mind, which I'm about to do. So you got to hold that plank and you're like, I hate this. This feels hard. But the energy behind that isn't lack and right, oh, I have to do this because I hate my body. It's, I'm doing this because I love my body. I'm doing this because I'm excited for that end result, because it lights me up, because it's pulling me. People like Tony Robbins, for example, they say that people get pulled by their desire, but they need to be pushed by fear. That is what really makes a difference. I like to say that you don't need for your current life to fall apart to create a new and better one. Do you really need to be that person who is pushed by fear, who needs life to just punch in the face in order to move? Or do you choose to be driven by your desires? Do you choose to commit to something better, to something greater? You don't need to, and this is what, so many people that have that sudden spiritual shift. They're like, it was so much hardship, it was so much trauma, it was this last straw of just like, I just can't handle it anymore. We don't need to wait until that moment. We don't need to wait until that point. So are you willing to create that intimacy with everything you do? Are you willing to build intimacy in a relationship with your visions of the future and make it so much easier to move towards them one step at a time? And I thank you for being here. I thank you for watching it, and I'll see you next week.